On tonight's CTV News, cyclists break a sweat for charity, a resident is transforming his earthquake-damaged home into graffiti art, and we gain exclusive access inside Rangiora's town hall. This is CTV News. I'm Grant Mangan. One of Rangiora's oldest buildings is undergoing major repairs. CTV gained exclusive access inside the local town hall, even beating the local mayor for a tour. Emma Cropper has the story.
The Rangiora Town Hall, closed and hidden behind 2 stories of scaffolding and tarpaulin. The only ones allowed inside are those rebuilding and strengthening it. The $10.7 million project is preserving the old and constructing the new, making the town hall bigger and better than before.
We have down here some dressing rooms. There's toilets and 2 dressing rooms for the small theatre, right? And they access out into the corridor, the crossover to the stage, and access onto the stage to the small theatre, which you see through here.
Able to seat 150 people, this is part of the new addition. A theatre for all seasons. It doubles as a movie theatre, including a sprung floor for dancers and state-of-the-art technology for lighting and sound.
That's a multi-use space. It has a flat floor capability. It has seats that can pull out in a raked formation, and it has a stage that can be demounted as required or reassembled in different configurations to provide a venue for many uses for the community.
The town hall shut its doors in December 2011, fast-tracking the Waimakariri District Council's plans to extend and re-strengthen. We're between the old and the new building.
Yeah, as you come down this corridor which links to the back of house, the original old wall of the original theatre you can see here on the right, and over here is the new structure for various services, toilets, lift, etc., and through to the main entrance out through there.
This new part of the town hall not only houses the new theatre, but also the toilets and catering kitchen. And in here, 2 boutique cinemas, equipped to seat 35 people each. So is the outside pretty much going to look the same?
Well, it's going to be repainted, but just stopped.
Opened in May 27th, 1926, the town hall cost £10,850 to build. It's been the hub of cultural activity, from recitals and Anzac services. It's even been used as a library, and for 14 years, from 1966, it housed the Rangiora Borough Council.
So this is the old entrance that we're coming into here, into what was the original foyer. What we've done is broken through into the larger space of the old building to create a much, much bigger foyer. But to do that, we had to take out some of the walls.
Earthquake strengthening is a large part of the work being done here, including an extra layer of skin to some of the interior walls.
So the additional wall that's been added, bonded to the original, is full of reinforcing, and it's called shotcrete. It's fired on, and that strengthens the building.
Upstairs, the old cinemas are being turned into a function area. In the old auditorium, it's obvious the amount of heritage that still remains.
You can see, interestingly, on the walls, these square patches of raw concrete. That's where the original windows were for the auditorium, because for whatever reason, when they built these old town halls, it was considered the thing to have windows, so you got a bit of natural light.
Listed as a Category 2 historic building, many old features remain, including these window fixings, and even the old projection windows will remain visible.
Wherever there was something there that was part of the original building, you try and let it be acknowledged, you try and let it be seen to be appreciated.
The main auditorium now has a larger orchestral pit, but will remain much the same.
The balcony rail in the front is quite a lovely decorative feature. Around the proscenium arch is also quite lovely. We're keeping all that. It's going to be repainted, of course, and the floor is, as it was before, a gentle slope. I think it's the sort of space that people coming here who know the old auditorium will feel very much at home.
The town hall will be catering to local performers and talent when it's due to open in February next year. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
A $700,000 deal with the Department of Conservation will upgrade remote huts and tracks. The money will improve 36 huts and 670 kilometres of track involving 10,000 hours of voluntary labour. Tramping, hunting and mountain biking clubs are calling for members and the community to tell them which huts or tracks they think need the attention. New transport plans to revamp the road network around Christchurch Hospital may make it harder to find a park.
During yesterday's Earthquake Recovery Committee of the Whole meeting, the Christchurch City Council voted to kickstart 2 new transport projects. They're launching as part of the Accessible City chapter of the Christchurch Central Recovery Plan. The most controversial project of the 2 is likely to be Hospital Corner. This is because 51 car parks could be lost in the project during the Stage 1 early works. However, to offset the reduction of on-street car parks, a short-term car park of around 800 spaces has been established on the old brewery site on the corner of St Asaph and Antigua Streets. Right now, Oxford Terrace is a route for cars heading into the central city, but going forward this will now be restricted to hospital and local business access vehicles, taxis, cyclists and pedestrians. The final layout will be determined as part of the Avon River Precinct works. The bus stop on Oxford Terrace next to the hospital will move to Chilham Street, becoming a bus super stop. Chilham Street will become one way for city-bound traffic, and all vehicles travelling down the street will be restricted to 30 kilometres an hour. The existing exit from Christchurch Hospital at Oxford Terrace remains open, but vehicles can only travel south along Antigua Street. Meanwhile, on the Hagley Moorhouse corner and surrounding streets, there are further proposed changes. Hagley Avenue will now be closed at the Moorhouse Avenue intersection. 23 additional car parking spaces will be built near the netball courts. However, overall there will be a net loss of 14 car parking spaces in the project area. The existing path in Hagley Park will be widened to a 4-metre wide shared pedestrian cycle path. A spokesman from the Christchurch City Council says these 2 transport projects focus on improving traffic flow to anchor projects and are designed to assist pedestrian, cyclist and vehicle movement in and through the health precinct. They are a priority, as there is a need to get the physical changes to the roading network in place for the opening of the new bus interchange in April 2015. Public engagement over the first stage of the project is scheduled to start within a fortnight and will take place over a 3-week period.
Coming up, cyclists break a sweat for charity. Once known for making poppies, a local business is changing, adapting and becoming better than ever.
From rocking horses to refurbishing airline headphones, welcome to Kilmarnock Enterprises. Once the makers of the red paper poppies, this vibrant place is still booming with productivity. Chief Executive Michelle Sharp says losing the contract hasn't slowed the company down.
So losing the poppies at the time was quite hard-hitting to us. You know, it was something that we had done for about 30 years. But in some ways, when you look back at it, it was possibly one of the better things that could have happened, because what that did is it made us really refocus on the type of work we do, how we do it, and to relook at where we're going.
Recently awarded a golf contract, the team are incredibly proud to be partnering with the Christchurch-based organisation.
To win a contract of that magnitude with such a well-known Canterbury organisation, to know that they put the trust in us to actually deliver time and time again, to build 100,000 kits for them a year, I mean, that's huge. Can you imagine the pride, the cheers that we had when I came back into Kilmarnock to announce we'd won that contract from all the employees who were involved in it, were just absolutely amazing.
Over 55 years old, Kilmarnock Enterprises employs over 80 people. Over 65 of the employees suffer from some form of disability. Not letting that stand in their way, this Christchurch business is a place of smiles, bright colours and production lines. Meet Juliet Ward. Busy testing Air New Zealand's recycled headphones, Juliet says she loves coming to work every morning.
And how long have you been working here?
25 years.
Wow, 25 years.
Yeah.
Has it been 25 years of fun?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
David Graham has worked for Kilmarnock for 30 years. He says the people are friendly and it's a great place to work.
Well, it's the staff are nice, the people are friendly, and we all get on together most of the time.
I met Robin Ford busy in the food department, packaging nutmeg. With a great big smile, he excitedly told me he loves being a part of Kilmarnock.
How long have you been working here for?
I've been here too long. I've been here 17 and a half.
17 and a half years.
Coming up 18.
Wow. Do you love it though? Is it good? Good
Yes.
fun?
Awesome.
Kilmarnock make a range of products, including their own line of children's furniture. A favourite for many of the employees, their original work allows them to give back to the community. Proud of the work they do, Michelle Sharp says it's the team working together that achieves such good results.
If you enjoy what you're doing, you're going to do a better job. So we really set a culture of enjoyment, of fun, but of hard work as well, where everyone's empowered to actually get the results that they need to do a better job and to work as a team to achieve more.
Joelle Batista, CTV News.
Keen cyclists around the country are hoping to raise more than just a sweat as they cycle for Canteen.
Breaking a sweat for charity. 21 Christchurch teams made up of 150 cyclists are hoping to raise thousands for Canteen.
It's a 12-hour from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. RPM class. So we've got riders coming in and doing an hour-long class. We've got the awesome instructors at the front of the class pumping everybody up, and we're raising money for Canteen.
$20,000 is the goal. By midday, more than $14,000 had been donated. The money raised will help support young people living with cancer. 24-year-old Millie was one of the 150-odd cyclists riding to raise funds.
It was good, it was exhausting, but it was really cool. Everyone was so pumped and just really keen to support us, which is so cool.
A few years ago, Millie's 12-year-old sister Bridget was diagnosed with leukemia. Although she's in remission now, the 2 years of hospital treatment hit the family hard. Millie wanted to cycle today as a way to say thanks to the organisation that helped do the most during that tough time.
This Canteen's done so much for me and my two sisters over the last 6-7 years, and this is just a little something for us, to give back to Canteen because they've given us so much.
Many of the other riders have also had to face cancer or know people who have. Kelly Ethorn's mother is a cancer survivor, and so she too wanted to do her bit. However, she wasn't quite sure of what she was getting into when she signed up for the hour-long ride.
Thought I'd get on and give it a go, do my best.
But you're a bit surprised by what you actually have to do.
Yeah, I'm a bit freaked out to be honest, but I'm going to do my best and have fun.
With thousands raised around the country, the crank is looking like a success already.
It's been a really crazy, fun event. The classes are really quite intense and hard work, but there's an awesome vibe in them. So people are coming out of the classes really on a high, really pumped, really pleased with what they've achieved.
The crank first launched in 2012 in Auckland. Since then it's gained in popularity, and this year 4 crank events have been held around the country to help keep Canteen going.
Canteen needs approximately $6 million a year to run all its programs nationally, and that helps fund local activities and camps in the 14 branches across the country.
The Great Cycle Ride wraps up at 6 o'clock. However, it's not too late to donate. Just visit thecrank.co.nz. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
Before a Christchurch house damaged in the earthquakes is demolished, a team of graffiti artists are splattering the place in paint.
Some call it graffiti, others call it tagging. However, there's no denying that this is art. This isn't another story of a red-zoned house being trashed. Instead, a team of professionals have covered every room of this home in elaborate designs.
It's something awesome. I don't think it's been done before, the entire inside of the house.
This former rental is about to be demolished, but owner Ren Bell, a keen graffiti artist, wants to leave his mark on the place before it comes down.
We thought it might be a good opportunity to get some of the local artists in town to come in and throw some colour around, let loose and get creative.
Ren is the owner of Thai Container. His colourful restaurant is known for its street art as well as its food. In this house, his friends can go wild, trialling new techniques, just simply having fun.
Don't really come up with a plan, man, just sort of freestyle it. I mean, there's a lot of space in the house, so you can just sort of go, do what you want, try new things.
Some of the best art that I've seen in here so far has just come straight off the top of people's heads, and it's amazing to see what they can do given a few cans and a bit of free will.
Each room showcases a different artist's style. In one room, monsters jump out of the wall, while this one has crazy patterns all over it. Another has been set aside as a tribute to a friend of the artist's, 30-year-old Kurt Green.
I've already said our goodbyes, but I mean, it's just good to put something up there, show a bit of respect, and hopefully his family will see it as well.
The artists have used hundreds of spray cans to to leave their mark, and 4 days of solid work to transform the inside of this house. The next step is to tackle the outside and soak these walls in layers of paint. CTV has already sprayed its logo on the side of the building, and within a day, hundreds of crazy designs will be tagged all over it by some of Christchurch's top artists. This is another post-quake transitional project for the city.
So it's quite often there for a day, gone tomorrow.
Until the house is completely covered in paint, its location needs to stay top secret. But Wren expects thousands will be trawling through the place next weekend, once the job is finally complete. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
Well, given the quality of some of the stuff being done, I hope they keep some of it when the bulldozers are sent in. Well, still to come, the sport and weather updates. Gordon joins us now with a look at the weekend sport.
Sunday's Canterbury Rugby League final looks set to be a fierce encounter when the Hallsville Hornets and Celebration Lions square off in a rematch of the 2011 Grand Final. The Lions will be without two of their regulars after Canterbury Bulls captain Kyle Leaker and his brother Kasi were suspended after an incident with former teammate Manu Wipu 2 weeks ago when the same two teams met in the Premiership semi-final. Wipu, a cousin of former All Black Piri Wipu, scored the winning try in the July 26 match, which the Hornets won 20 points to 18 to advance directly to Sunday's final. The match is set to kick off at 2:45 from Canterbury Park. Winton trainer Leda Beck and Irish jockey Alan Brown took the honours on Wednesday as Gargamel won the 125th running of the 4,200 metre Grand National Hurdles at Riccarton. Gargamel was a relative outsider in the field, offering $24 for the win, with most punters stunned at the result. The racing continues this weekend with some of the country's top 4-year-olds racing at Addington tonight before Riccarton's Grand National Carnival reaches its grand finale tomorrow with the 140th running of the Grand National Steeplechase. The Crusaders' off-season decision-making has begun as two important decisions look to have been made already ahead of next year's campaign. Earlier this week, Crusaders boss Hamish Riak endorsed coach Todd Blackadder and his wider coaching team for at least another season, while perhaps even more importantly, it looks like Fijian winger Nemani Nadolo is set to sign with the Crusaders for the next 2 seasons. After not featuring at the beginning of the season, Nadolo added the backline punch the Crusaders looked to be lacking earlier in the season as the team struggled to unlock opposition defences. Since becoming a regular in the team lineup, Nadolo has become one of the most feared outside backs in the Super Rugby competition. The Press Cup enters its final round of play this weekend before the semi-finals get underway next weekend. This weekend's featured match sees St Andrews at home to St Bede's. St Bede's will be looking for a win to help book their spot into the top 4 of the comp. Meanwhile, St Andrews will be looking to end their season on a high after a disappointing display last time out against Christ College. Coverage of the match, as always, can be seen here at 12 o'clock on Sunday with a replay at 5:30. And finally tonight, finishing with motorsport, where it's been announced that Ruapuna will play host to both the V8 Super Tourers series as well as the New Zealand V8 touring cars next year. The NZ V8 touring cars will join the Toyota Racing Series meet at Ruapuna on the weekend of January the 17th and 18th, while the Super Tourers will be in town on the 21st and 22nd of March. They will also feature in a round in Timaru on the 7th and 8th of March. On a more current note, the latest round of the Mainland Rally competition gets underway tomorrow with the popular Catlins Rally. A favourite for both spectators and drivers, this year's event has attracted a large field from around the country, including a number of Canterbury drivers. I'll bring you results from Catlins on Monday. You're up to date with the latest in local sport. I'm Gordon Finlater for CTV Sport.
Well now, will the weather help or hinder this weekend's sport? Time to check out your regional weather.
Good evening, Canterbury. Let's take a look at your region's weather. First in Timaru, Temuka and Geraldine, 8 degrees. Methven, Ashburton and Rakaya hit 8 today. Darfield, Leeston and Rolleston had a mild day on 8. And over in Akarawa, they hit the low of the region on 7. In Rangiora, Kaipoi and Amberley, hope you're enjoying the last day of work, 8 degrees today. Culverden, Hanmer Springs and Cheviot also hit 8, and Kaikoura stole the high of the entire region on 9. And what's in store for tomorrow? In Timaru, fine and mostly sunny tomorrow with light variable winds and cold temperatures. An overnight low of 0 and a high of 9 degrees. In Ashburton, becoming fine and sunny during the morning with cold southwesterly winds dying out, hitting a chilly -1 overnight and a high of 9 degrees during the day. In Christchurch, some early cloud but lots of sunshine developing during the morning as cold southwesterlies die out, hitting an overnight low of 0 and a high of 9 degrees. And up the top in Kaikoura, fine and mostly sunny tomorrow with light winds and cold temperatures, hitting a high of 9 and an overnight low of 0. And in other areas around the region, Temuka and Geraldine -1 overnight with fine weather. Methven and Rakaya fine weather with a high of 9. Darfield, Leeston, Rolleston and Lincoln fine with a high of 9 and overnight low of -1. Over in Akarawa, fine weather with a high of 9. Rangiora, Kaipoi and Amberley fine with a high of 9. Culverden, Hanmer Springs and Cheviot -1 overnight and fine weather is expected. And looking ahead for Canterbury, fine and sunny on Sunday with cool northeasterly winds. Frosts are possible Sunday night as well. Fresh gusty northwesterly winds on Monday with high cloud thickening during the day. Expect some rain developing at night with cold southwesterly change. Cloudy and very cold on Tuesday, with periods of rain easing to showers during the day. Snow is likely above 300 metres. It'll be fresh southwesterly winds dying out, and the rain and snow will clear during the evening. Mostly fine on Wednesday and Thursday, with sunny periods and some cloud. It will be rather cold and a moderate southwesterly winds prevailing, and frosty at night. And that's all for your region's weather this week. Enjoy your evening and have a lovely weekend.
And if we needed reminding, it is still winter, so wrap up warm. It's going to be a cold night. That's CTV News for Friday and the week. I'm Grant Mangan. Good night.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.